Okay, for reasons that will become clear, I'm not quite sure how I should say this, but Ray Cahill. I have always been Ray Cahill, says Ray Cahill, but 20 years ago my life was ruined by a certain Australian footballer, and now everyone calls me Ray Cahill. I'm so sorry, Ray Cahill. I was going to write him a letter, but I realised it's probably the fault of pundits and commentators up and down the country. Do Guy Mowbray and Peter Drury just decide how they're going to say someone's name, or is there an official database in which every Premier League player's name is spelt phonetically? This is a great question.
Thank you, Ray, if that's how you pronounce that. I was so glad to see this question because it allows me to draw people's attention to something which I shall mention at the end of this. But yeah, the basic principle is we didn't really used to have to worry about pronunciation of names, but now we're such a multinational league. You know, like for years and years, everyone called him Jose Mourinho, and he's Jose Mourinho because he's Portuguese, and he used to get angry that people would mispronounce his name. And David Ginola, Spurs would constantly be bringing up the broadcaster saying it's Ginola, it's Ginola. So for a long time, pronunciations have been very difficult, especially, you know, there's new players being brought in all the time. And so what Sky do now, and you can actually see this, there is a video, there is a supercut of this. They get every single Premier League footballer, I think it's 572 last season, to stand in front of a green screen, in front of a camera, and say their own name.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
They each say it twice, and it's brilliant. And then, you know, it'll all be like, you know, kind of, you've even got Ben White just going, Ben White. Okay, just say it one more time, Ben. Ben White. It's obviously been given to each of the clubs to do it. You should watch the video. You can see it on YouTube. It's like an hour and a half long. It goes on forever. It's like mesmerizing. You can tell the press officer each club because they've been told, make sure you say it twice and make sure you say it slowly. I can't remember which club it is. I don't think it's Chelsea, but it's one of the teams where the press officer is really, he gets them to do every single syllable. And he goes, no, I think what they really want you to do is say Abdoulaye de Corre. And the person just repeats it. But yeah, it's essentially 572 people telling you how they pronounce their names. This is funny to say Ben White, but this is sent around the world. So this is sent to all the foreign broadcasters, where actually Ben White is a much harder name to pronounce than some of the foreign names in the Premier League. But it's really, really, just put in Premier League footballers pronunciation. It'll come up and you've got an hour and a half. I don't want to say entertainment because it's not, but it's a fairly extraordinary achievement. And you certainly get a sense of the personalities of some of the players.
I'm dying for this.
A 10-minute interview doesn't tell you much about someone, but literally seeing someone twice having just to pronounce their name and just looking off camera to make sure they've done it right, it gives a unique insight into that. Because like Phil Jagielka,
Yeah.
I think right at the end of his career, he just said, you know, you've been pronouncing my name wrong my whole career. You know, I'm Jagielka. And it's just these things, you know, players just put up with their names pronounced incorrectly forever and ever and ever, and which is the same problem there with poor Ray Cahill.
I really love that, and I'm